All right, it's June 23rd, and we are coming to you live from the GMAC Annual Conference. Welcome to the NBA Show!
Awesome. Remember to subscribe to us on iTunes.
Miro, we have made it. We have made it. This is it. This is the
we,
top.
Of course we made it. The GMAC is holding their annual conference across the river from Sloan. It wasn't that hard to get here.
When you make short form web content focused at MBAs, the GMAC Annual Conference is like my Everest, baby.
This is true. This is the top. I would say the only thing that could potentially make this better is if we could bring on the king, the man, the leader, the man in charge of the GMAC. If only that were possible. We got a lot of swag here today.
Free swag.
Yeah, exactly. And it turns out, indeed, we do have him, the man from the GMAC who makes the GMAT, the president and CEO of the GMAC, today's guest, Mr. David Wilson.
Yes!
Okay. So, David, you have been a
multiple choice, please.
You have been a professor at UT Austin, at HBS, several schools in accounting. You've worked at Ernst & Young, and you are the president and CEO of the GMAC, the company that makes the GMAT, the exam that every business school student needs to get through to get into business school.
Trial by fire.
Absolutely.
And I, my friend, I have just one question for you.
Multiple choice.
That I have been wondering all of these years.
Oh, good.
2 trains leave on a 100-mile track.
Right.
One train is traveling 48 miles an hour, the other's traveling 40.
Miro. I think he's had enough. I think he's had enough. The answer's B. Just say B.
B.
Oh, yes. He's done it.
My God, it is B, actually.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
But seriously, though, we have heard about big changes that are happening at the GMAT. The big thing that's all over the news these days is the integrated reasoning section.
Yeah.
And we all know with standardized testing, when new things are added to a test, there's going to be some winners and some losers.
No, come on.
So who are the winners with this new section? Who's this good for, student-wise?
It's going to be great for everyone. In fact, it's a bit like shampoo. You know, you rinse, shampoo, you rinse, and then shampoo and rinse again. Take the GMAT 2 or 3 times.
I'm not completely following your analogy here.
I think repeat if necessary. It's the perfect answer, and it's the same thing with the integrated reasoning.
So what's going to be
beautiful?
What's going to be involved in this section?
The integrated reasoning is going to be exciting because it's going to allow people to raise their own game. They're going to raise themselves up because they're going to try to find ways to integrate data from here and a graph from there and a chart from here, and integrate that, pull it in, analyze it, convert it, massage it, and interpret it and come up with an answer.
And so who is going to do better at, how is that going to sort of change your score? So not everyone's going to do exactly the same on the GMAT as they did before. How will it, who will do better and who will do worse?
I don't,
what types of students will get higher
First of all,
scores?
the GMAT verbal and quant scores are going to stay the same.
So this is
you're going to get the same and the same total.
Yep.
But you're going to have, we used to have 2 analytical writing pieces. Now you just have 1, and you have a 30-minute piece on the integrated reasoning with a separate score.
Yep.
So it's not going to change. Anyone who's doing really well, you guys who are way up at the top there, you're going to do the same score. How you do on the other one, we don't know. That'll be a separate score scale.
And how do you expect, so who do you expect will do really well on this?
Oh, I think guys from MIT.
Yes!
So math and quant, obviously helpful there.
Math and quant remain the critical elements of the total score. The elements before and the total score. You're going to have the analytical writing, which is the ability of you to write in a prompted basis, but in a finite period of time, and the integrated reasoning, which is going to challenge a whole lot of, not unlike the microcosm. It's a microcosm, if you will, of what you do in class, where you get all kinds of data in a case study. You have to assimilate it. You have to discuss it. You have to work it through, and then try to reason.
And then I talk for minutes upon minutes because I love to hear the sound of my own voice.
Absolutely.
How do we keep people from Miro from getting into business school? So you are the gatekeeper in a lot of ways. We're MBAs, and the people that we see sitting around us in class came through your trial by fire, and you've seen the development of those people over many years. And what I'm wondering is, who is the MBA student of the future? In 10 years, instead of sitting next to Miro, can I do better?
Well, I would hope you never know. He may not be out by then, but I think that the MBA student of the future is going to be a very different creative person, because I think where we've seen jobs created in this country and around the world, it's been the startups, it's been the entrepreneurs. And I think more and more entrepreneurs are discovering that they gain a lot of value from the skills in the MBA program. And I think you're going to see a lot of bright young people coming from very different kinds of backgrounds: musicians, artists,
China.
China.
What about
A lot from China.
Oh, yeah, what about the MBA overseas? So China and India rapidly developing their management education programs. How does the GMAC and the GMAT figure into that? Do they take the GMAT overseas?
Very much. China and India right now are the two largest markets in terms of growth in the country, really or in the world. Chinese students and Chinese and Indian students are both taking it to study domestically and to go elsewhere in the world. And so,
and you were saying there's another exam they have in China as well that you were telling us about.
They do. They have, for the Chinese student, it's the MBA Liankao or the GRK, and it's required of Chinese students studying in China.
But
So do any Americans take that test?
No, not that I know of.
it's in Chinese, Tom.
It's in Chinese, just in case you were wondering.
So, do you see them as a competitor for the GMAC?
No, not particularly, because the test is not used outside the country. It is required within, and so to some extent, the Chinese students who are going to remain studying in China do have to take it, but many of the schools there are basing their scholarships and financial aid on the GMAT. So they take the GRK, the Liankao,
So people are taking both tests.
both tests.
And instead of the gatekeeper for admissions, you're the gatekeeper for scholarship money.
In some cases, apparently so, yeah.
Which would make sense, I guess, if you're trying to attract students who would be going to the States, so they're taking the GMAT anyways. This is a way to try and keep them in country, and this is why I sometimes think I should have gotten my MBA in China.
Well, there are a lot of good schools there.
Yeah.
So we understand, we have a segment on the show we call Jargon.
Right.
And we understand that you have brought a word with us that you'd like to share, and I'm very excited to hear about it because I don't know what this means. Spokespersonator.
It's a spokespersonator. In today's space, particularly with digital media, all of a sudden you can discover somebody is claiming to be your spokesman or spokeswoman. And you not only do they not have any right to do that, you don't want them to.
And are they saying bad things about you?
No, they could be saying bad things, they could be saying wrong things. You don't want Tiger Woods representing chastity, for example. And so the only way to diffuse this is to declare the person a spokespersonator.
Have you actually has this been a problem in your career before? Have you seen
Oh,
this?
constantly. Everyone's trying to quote me.
Miro will one day be a Chinese woman. Dave Wilson.
Spokespersonator. There he goes again.
And then our other segment that we go to, we're excited for this, is our business school tip of the week. And Dave, we asked you, what if you had one piece of advice that you could give to incoming business school students to help improve their business school experience, what would it be?
Really simple. The halo effect is real. Bust your ass in your first semester.
So I should be playing Halo all the time.
Play Halo all the
throughout my
time.
first semester.
Bust it, get the great grades, because faculty remember who you are, and it does carry through.
So you would wait the first semester over semesters 2 through 4 even.
If you're coasting well after the first semester, it ain't nearly as difficult. But that first semester is going to be 125% of the workload you could normally handle. You're going to have to gut it up and do it, because when you do, it pays off.
Should I just tell my wife, hey, I'll see you in December?
You could try that, or you could just try balancing it and working it out. Yeah. You can do it. It's just hard. Yeah. Don't fall into the trap of sucking it up and playing and having a little more beer than necessary.
But over invest in the first semester. It is worth it. It'll pay off. This is for a man who taught business school classes for many years. You said you noticed who did well in those first semesters.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, Dave, thank you so much for being here today. I want to let everyone in our audience know you can, as always, subscribe to our newsletter at www.thembashow.com, where we provide access to special bonus content. And, Dave, what's on your radar this weekend?
Well, what's on my radar is my birthday.
Hey, congratulations.
Congrats.
What is it a big one?
It's a big one. I'm 70 tomorrow.
Nice.
And
right.
what's interesting is that I decided for my birthday to do something a little different. And so I'm going to be riding my bicycle in August, 70 miles. I'm going to be 70. I've promised that I would raise $70,000. I'm up to about 63 now. I'll be riding with the team we created in honor of a friend of mine who passed away from cancer called Team MBA. And anyone who wants, all you have to do is be able to spell MBA to join this team.
Yep.
We'd love to have anyone who wants to ride it in Philly with me in August 22nd.
And we've actually
Come on
seen it. You
along.
can check it out at teammba.gmac.com. You can actually see Dave wearing that jersey in a YouTube video. You wear it very nicely, my friend. And you can also donate to him very, 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 very close to the cause. I actually, between when I checked in 2 days, your numbers went up like $1,000. So
Good stuff.
So
70
still-
you. Only 6,000 away now.
Yeah.
All right.
Tom, what about you? What's on your radar this weekend?
I will be hiking Franconia Notch, which is I've heard is one of the best hikes in Massachusetts. So if you're in the area and you haven't been up there, you should go check it out.
Turning 70, day hike. We are
I don't claim to be on the same
we are
level. It's just what I'm doing this
weak
weekend.
compared to that.
How about you? What's your-
I'll be going to New York City. I am heading to the baptism of JD. Despite my begging of my friends, they refuse to make me the godfather of their child. They keep claiming the fact that I'm Jewish is some sort of impediment to being responsible for his Catholic education. I've already bought the Godfather T-shirt. We'll see if it works out. But anyways, as always, I'm Miro Kaz,
I'm the real Tom Rose.
And I'm Dave Wilson.
and you've been watching the NBA show. You got bigger laughs than we did at several points.